run of events, a man drove a pickup truck into a crowd of revelers in New Orleans, resulting in 15 deaths and dozens of injuries. The attack, which took place just after 3 a.m. on New Year's Day, has left United States in a state of shock. The suspect has been identified as Shamsud-Din Jabbar, a 42-year-old US Army veteran from Texas. The authorities are now investigating the possible terrorist connections of the suspect. According to FBI, they do not believe the suspect acted alone. Surveillance footage has revealed that several individuals were seen placing improvised explosive devices, that is IEDs, near the scene, including 2 pipe bombs hidden inside coolers and wired for remote detonation. These developments suggest that the attack may have been part of a larger coordinated effort. So how did the attack unfold? The violent attack unfolded in the early hours of New Year's Day as crowds were celebrating in New Orleans' French Quarter. Disturbing footage from the scene showed bodies on the streets and people fleeing in panic as the truck rammed into the crowd. Jabbar, the suspect, after crashing his rented vehicle, exited the truck and opened fire on responding police officers. Officers returned fire and the suspect was killed in the exchange. In addition to the truck, investigators found an ISIS flag, weapons, and what appeared to be an explosive device inside the vehicle, raising further concerns about the possibility of a larger terrorist plot. As a result of the attack, the Sugar Bowl, which was scheduled for Wednesday at the Superdome, has been postponed. The game will now take place on Thursday as officials work to reassure both locals and visitors about their safety in the wake of the tragedy. The attack has prompted reactions from political leaders across the nation as well. US President Joe Biden condemned the attack, calling it a tragedy, while President-elect Donald Trump took to social media to describe the attack as an act of pure evil. Trump also linked the incident to the issue of illegal immigration, suggesting that criminals coming into the United States were far worse than those already in the country. In a post on Truth Social, Trump remarked, "When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media. But it turned out to be true." He offered condolences to the victims' families and promised his administration's support in the city's recovery. Here's what eyewitnesses have to say about the incident.
This intersection, right, probably like 20 yards from where he actually made impact with the people. And there were people everywhere, like I said.
In cars, too.
In cars, yeah. I don't know, my husband and I were discussing this, is how he managed to get as much momentum of speed. And you just heard this squeal and like the rev of an engine and then this huge loud impact and then the people screaming. And debris, just metal, the sound of crunching metal and bodies. It's just like shock and disbelief. You just don't,
She has to be why somebody would.
Yeah, like you just
I just don't understand why somebody would do that.
I don't understand why somebody would do that. Just have no regard for life. I just don't understand how such evil can exist. I mean, I'm sad. I'm sad. It's not something that I'll ever forget. I really don't know, other than just a deep sadness.
Yeah.
And anger. I do have. I'm very angry at him.
The pedicabs too. There were 2 pedicabs.
That was
absolutely
pedicab.
right
He hit the
behind
passengers
barriers
on
and
the
knocked them all
pedicab.
over.
There were 2 pedicab drivers. He missed
So shaken up, she
the
didn't
driver,
realize.
and he angled and took out his passengers, and those were the bodies that went just all over the street.
And people, they sprung into action immediately doing.
I mean,
first
they
aid,
had
CPR,
other,
everything.
friends, and then strangers were trying to give help, and I remember seeing a girl standing over a body crying and just, hysterically.
Yeah.
And The police did get here really, really quickly.
That was SWAT.
SWAT came
SWAT
in
came
and fouled
fully
out.
tacked up and jumped out. It was nuts.
And we had no idea about the destruction down the way. Wonder too. You're like, what is this guy doing? Is he drunk? You know, what is he doing? And then to know that was his intent was to cause as much carnage and destruction and kill people. It's sickening.